Hey yo, what's good everyone? My name is Matt and welcome to today's unboxing video. So there was a key element missing in my full camera setup, which was audio. Therefore, we'll be unboxing DJI's wireless microphone. What sold me on this microphone was this awesome charging case that carries everything in it. This includes 2 transmitters and the receiver. The best thing to actually compare this to is the Apple AirPods. Now in terms of specs, the transmitter could go as far as 250 meters. It's capable of dual channel recording, and it also has 14 hours of onboard memory, which goes perfect with its 15-hour battery life. Now let's open this box, shall we? First we gotta remove this little seal right here. So first thing we see is this little box. Let's open this up. It looks like we got a little pouch right here. Now what do we have in here? Alright, so there's a few things. We got some booklets. Let's see. Instruction manual, blah blah blah. All the usual stuff. And we also got some cables. Let's see, we got a TRS cable and then a USB-A to USB-C cable. Plus we got a windscreen. And now let's take a look at the charging case. Now let's check if there's anything else. I always gotta double check, just in case if there's anything missing, I won't have to deal with it later. Let's take a quick look at the outside of the case. It's got a cool design and finish to it. You got the USB-C port right there in the back. And here's the inside of it. Nice and compact. Now let's look at the transmitter. First thing we see is the clip. You can attach this to maybe a backpack or a shirt. On the top there's the microphone and then the headphone jack. On this side we got the power button and then the charging port, which can also be used to transfer your data onto your computer. Let's see, on this side we got the record button and then the link button, which can be used to sync your devices. Let's see what we got with the receiver. Here's your display, and on the back here's your attachment point to connect your USB-C attachment or your lightning attachment, plus your cold shoe attachment. There's the power and charging port. And on this side we got 2 ports here, one for your camera out and then one for your headphones. Hey you, hit that sub button. Let's take a look at the cold shoe attachment. Now in order to attach this correctly, you gotta lift this little thing up here and then slide it right into the slot. Now I won't lie to you guys, I tried this off camera for the first time and it just didn't want to go in. And once I got it into place, it just was impossible to take it out. I managed to scuff it a little bit, but I'm hoping it was just because it was the first attempt. I also probably won't be taking off the cold shoe mount, just because I don't really see myself using the other attachments. So why would I have to take it out, right? But anyways, here's the other attachments if you guys wanted to see it. This is the lightning attachment. And then here's the USB-C attachment. But yeah, everything has a spot for everything that it comes with, which is why I love this case. It's so easy to take with you. Once everything's charging, you can see the battery life percentage and if it's charging or not. Now let's set this thing up. So right now it says it's locked. In order to unlock it, just click the button on the right, which is the power button, 1 time, and then you got it. Here we'll click English. Next you gotta set the date, followed by the current time. After quickly setting that part up, now we can attach it to the camera. When attaching this, just make sure you wobble it in all the way. Double check that it's nice and tightly secured. You don't want this to fall out. Okay guys, let's make sure everything is connected and working properly. It seems like everything's working properly. Let's see, the left transmitter seems to be working just fine. And same goes for the right transmitter. When connecting the cable here, just make sure it's on the out port from the receiver into the microphone port of your camera. And before we continue, I just want to show you guys that the included magnet can be used to hide your transmitter on your shirt. The magnet's really strong, by the way. And also, here's how you attach the windscreen. You should see 2 grooves on the windscreen, and then you just align it with the grooves on the transmitter. Once you got it all aligned, just twist and you should be good to go. Now let's go over the user interface. If you swipe down, you could go into these settings. First up, you could change your mode. So right now we're in mono. The next mode is the mono safety channel. And then we got stereo mode. In stereo mode, you can use the transmitter to record to the left track individually or the right track individually. And if you want to switch which transmitter goes where, you just click this button here to flop the left and right channels. So now in mono, it won't record to the same channel independently, but it'll record to each channel with the same audio. And the mono safety channel is the same thing as mono, but instead on one channel you're going to get the same volume that you're recording at, and on the second channel you're going to get a -6 decibel recording. Next, we can change the gain for the receiver. Right now it's at 0, you could go all the way up to 12 decibels and then -12 decibels. And then we got the volume. We could change it all the way to 12 decibels for your headset and then -12 decibels. Next we got our transmitter settings. You got the low cut setting here, you could turn it on or off. And then we got our transmitter gain. You could individually change these from each transmitter, +12 and -12 decibels. If you got big fingers, I could see this being pretty difficult to use. Next we got the record stop lock. You could turn this on or off. You could also have this record automatically. You could turn this on or off. So the transmitters have like a vibration to it to notify whether it's going on, recording, or turning off. This is good to have, so I'm just keep this on. And here we got LED brightness. This you can go off, low, or high. And finally over here we go into advanced settings. First off, we see the link device. This is so you can link your transmitter to the receiver. You can actually link it in 3 different ways. So that's one way. You could also click this button over here. That's the second way. And the third way is just by plugging it into the charging case. Next up, we got the brightness for the receiver screen. I always tend to keep the brightness all the way up, just so it's a bit easier to see outside. After brightness, you could change your language, followed by the date and time, and then a factory reset. And finally, here's the version and compliance info. Once we get back to the main screen, you could swipe up, and here you got some more buttons for your transmitter. On the left here, you got the record button for your transmitter. Here you can mute it or unmute it. That's the indicator light. And on the right shows you how much memory you got left. You can also format it right here too. And by the way, you can also use these buttons directly from the device itself. In order to mute, you could just double tap the power button. And then you can do the same thing to unmute it. Alright, so the last thing I want to show everyone is what happens when you have both transmitters out at the same time. The moment they're both out of the charging case, you'll see both appear on the receiver. Swipe up from the left side to deal with your first transmitter, and then swipe up from the right side to deal with the second one. Now if we switch this to stereo mode, let's do this right here, we'll see some additional information on the screen. So for the left transmitter, you see it's going to the left track, and then the right transmitter is going to the right track. Now if we hit record, you'll see a red dot on the receiver, and also a red light on the transmitter. Now if we take a look at the main screen, you can see that 1 and 2 on top, which is the signal strength of the transmitters to the receiver. And directly to the right of that is the battery life for the receiver. The top left indicates the mode you're in, so right now we're in stereo. And then to the right of the L and R, you see the battery symbol for the transmitters. And finally, you'll see some numbers that indicate the gain that you can put on the receiver or the transmitters. But since everything's at 0, there's nothing shown. So yeah, let me put this back to mono, and then I think we're done. I'll be testing this out for my voiceover, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching everyone. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that noty bell to know when I upload. And click here